That is a ribeye steak with shrimp. That was 2 pounds of shrimp. I just ate the majority of it. And then I made a shrimp sauce out of butter, a little bit of paprika, and cayenne pepper. That's literally it. That's it. And I've been experimenting with my air fryer. That little guy over there, the Insta Vortex Plus air fryer. Hi, Molly. But I've been experimenting with my air fryer, trying to get it to make the perfect steak. So far, I've been having some really good steak in the air fryer. I just haven't figured out exactly how I want to present it to people when I actually make a really good, decent air fryer steak. So, I mean, that is what it is. I'm not too awful worried about it, but yes, we are gonna chill out and yeah, check this out. So, air fryer steak, shrimp, the shrimp sauce that I made to go with it, ribeye steak. Okay, I did a good job on the steak. That tastes good. And the shrimp's really not screwing it up. So, this probably won't take me very long to eat. But today was a good day, by the way. For those of you that follow me, I had a really good day at work. Almost nothing the entire day went wrong. Even the trip home from work went exceptionally well. I can't complain. It's not very often that I have a perfect day. Wow. Okay. Not bad. All right, anybody that's new here, I'm Big John. I live in Anchorage, Alaska. I've been doing the carnivore diet. And this right here is just one of my many carnivore type meals. This is something new I created just now. I figured since I already had the shrimp cooked and it was already sitting in its own sauce, just dump it on the steak, see what happens. And I kind of like it. But this is literally my only meal that I eat in the day. So I go to work, I don't snack at all. I just drink water, take my electrolytes, and then come home and have a yummy steak, some shrimp sometimes, some eggs, and it just works. I lose weight. I've lost a lot of weight doing it this way. And I get to eat yummy food covered in butter. That's what this sauce is. It's all buttery sauce. And the red color that makes it this color is paprika and cayenne pepper. And I went pretty heavy on the cayenne pepper this time. But it's really good. This is an inexpensive carnivore type meal. And it's just super healthy. I lose weight. I maintain weight loss eating this way. It's just so ridiculously easy. Oh, that probably sounds horrible, but that's okay. I don't know why more people aren't giving this a try. Like a sincere try. Like, yeah, eat meat. Eat a lot more fat. And see what happens. Because so far I've been doing this for over a year and I've had nothing but improvements in every aspect of my life. Now if you cook the fat just right, it's really delicious. It kind of melts in your mouth. And so far the air fryer seems to work really well for melting that fat and getting it down to where it's in an edible state. It's not like chewing gum. It's not gross. Oh, just melts in your mouth. It is pretty good. So what I got here is a ribeye steak, some shrimp, a butter sauce that I made after I drained the shrimp, because frozen shrimp just seems to produce like so much moisture. So I just drained the shrimp and I put it right back in the pan. Then I add about half a stick to 3/4 of a stick of butter and just let it start browning the butter. Then I add my spices and you get something like this, and you get a nice yummy buttery sauce. that's not gross. And it tastes really good. No, it's not chicken. We're eating shrimp and steak tonight. Just eat and quit yelping, Baldy. No, I'm going to talk all I want. That's what the whole point of YouTube is, talking. But then again, there's a niche out there where people just eat food and people like it. I don't know why. But there's a lot of things that happen on YouTube that I don't understand, but people seem to enjoy. Like ASMR. I'm not sure why this new generation now is just in love with ASMR. I mean, they'll sit there and listen to people, you know, crinkle paper or whisper into a microphone. That just seems really strange to me. I'm not a fan of ASMR either there, Captain Kitty Hawk. That's kind of what this is, surf and turf. Just like lacking all the breading type stuff. So even when I liked, you know, cooking fish for myself, I never liked putting it in batter or putting it in panko. I had it made for me that way many times in my life. And I never really liked it. A lot of times I'd just sit there and peel the breading off. And it wasn't even because it was bad for me. It was just because I didn't like the breading. Whoa. I always know my family goes out and gets fast food because they leave evidence behind. Fast food napkins. Not sure what happened in the other room, but something did, and I'm the only one home. But I have 4 cats and 1 dog. Could be anything. Hey, UK. Nice to see you there, Donna. 2:53 in the morning, I'm guessing. So, here in Alaska, I just got out of work a little bit ago. It's 6 p.m. right now. And I had an amazing day at work. I mean, it started off cold. We had a couple trucks that didn't start. Not a super huge deal. The trucks we needed to get going, we got them going pretty quick. We fixed a couple things on the trucks and then took off and went to work for the day. And everything just went, throughout the entire day, as far as I know, everything went pretty close to without a hitch for most of the guys I was working with today. Yes. So this is unfortunately, this is my last ribeye steak that I had. I'm going to have to figure out an emergency plan for tomorrow. So I might have to go to Car Safeway, pick up some ribeyes. Because if I can't get to Costco Business Center, I can't buy a big, huge chunk of meat. I could have gone tonight, but I was having a good day. I wanted to get home as quick as possible before anything bad happened. I didn't want to ruin the mood. It's just so simple. I mean, I wish I learned more about the carnivore diet like when I was younger. Because I remember hearing about it when I think I was 35 years old when I heard about it. I'm 50 now, by the way. Now, back then, I don't know, they weren't calling it the carnivore diet back then. They were calling it a meat-based diet. And there was a lot of talk about it for weight loss, better health. But I was choosing the wrong types of meat when I started it. I was choosing like sandwich meat, for instance. Not a great idea. Doesn't work as well. It is meat, but it's overly processed stuff with a whole bunch of stuff in there. So like bologna or something like that wasn't working out for me. I didn't realize that we needed as much fat as we do to make the carnivore diet work. That's why ribeye steaks are my favorite. They got so much fat, and you can make it all edible. I tried the Atkins diet. It do a whole lot for me. I tried a lot of diets over my life. And then I got to my heaviest weight ever, left 435. It could have been more than that, but 435 is what I was going to call it. I was dangerously close to death. That's how morbidly obese I was. Oh, from Turkey. Hey there. Nice to see you. I don't do ketchup. I mean, many years ago I might have done ketchup, but I really have a hard time putting sauces on a steak. Steak creates its own sauce. You just salt the heck out of it, cook it down, and then it'll create its own sauce from its own juices. And I found out shrimp kind of creates its own sauce too. Except you got to drain a lot of that water off, and then you just add butter. And then it makes this, which is really nice, yummy, buttery sauce. Those shrimp are good. No, I don't do the whipping in it. I am doing well there, Short Gus. Not doing bad. It's a possibility. If I were to rub this on my buns, I'd have buttery buns. Totally possible. Alright. That yummy fat at the end. Now I remember when I was working on the North Slope and we used to have prime rib night. We'd all get this big giant piece of prime rib. And one of my buddies, I don't even know, he wasn't that healthy of a guy. When I was eating my prime rib, I wasn't, at that time in my life, I wasn't eating hardly any of the fat, and he was always about the fat. He wanted as much fat as he could get. But I never understood it until I started the carnivore diet. He wasn't doing the carnivore diet, he was just in love with the fat. But it makes sense now why people would crave it. It's quite delicious. And it's one of those things that I love. And I never did before. Never did before the carnivore diet. I was always with that kid, you know, when I was a child, I'd cut all the fat off my steak and I wouldn't want it. But now I don't even want to give it to the dog. Artery clogger? A steak? It's not how any of this works. Or at least that I've found out. I've eaten something like 15 to 30 pounds of bacon in 1 week. It's just fine. I thought all that bacon would have screwed me up royally. Hey. What do you want, kitty? My cat getting in the mix here. So usually when I'm done eating, if I got any little bits and pieces, I give it to my cat here. Well, I give her the plate. She picks up the plate. Then when she's done with the plate, I'll give it to the dog. And the dog will pretty much finish everything off. So sad this is my last ribeye. I couldn't believe how fast I went through that ribeye this week. I wasn't the only one that ate it. That was part of the reason why. So normally I get, out of a big chunk of ribeye meat, I can get about 16 really good steaks. So if it was just me alone, that'd be 16 meals for around $200 and something. Which really isn't that bad in price. And then you add some eggs, you add some shrimp. Reindeer sausage, that's one of my favorites. Reindeer sausage, I love it. And I found out if you take reindeer sausage and cook it in bacon fat, it's so much better. It's awesome. Donald Trump's ear. Is it frozen in Alaska or what? It's very cold here. At the beginning of the week, it was down to about -3. We were having a lot of problems with vehicles and just cold. Anytime you get down that low, it just makes everything a little bit harder, especially if you're a truck driver. John Bacuzzi. You're not feeling well tonight. That's unfortunate. Do you like A1 on your steaks? I don't. I don't use any sauce. This sauce here is literally just created from the shrimp that I had, and I just added a little bit of seasoning, paprika and cayenne pepper. I add a bunch of salt to the steak before I cook it. And it's just like a lot of salt. Come here. I'll share with you. Take it. You want it? Go ahead. Go ahead. It's acting all weird. Go ahead. It's okay. You can have that piece. You're not going to get scolded. It's all freaked out because it's on the fork. Go ahead. I'll drop it right there. You can have it. Either that or she doesn't like the spices. You know, I screwed up one time when I was, I made some soup that was with a whole bunch of Indian spices. It had cumin, it had turmeric in it, all kinds of spices. And then I fed the leftover, you know, kind of a sauce like this, but I fed that leftover sauce to my dog. And then my dog got horribly sick, and I had no idea why my dog was so sick. And then actually researched it. I was like, all of those crazy spices, you know, like turmeric and cumin, can almost kill your dog. I mean, you're not supposed to give that stuff to dogs. I didn't know that. I mean, that's this dog over here. I thought it was going to die. It was bad. We live in Anchorage. Yeah, my cats have been great. We got them. This one here, we got her for a mouser. Because when we moved into this trailer home, it's an old 1975 Redmond's trailer home. But since it's been up here for so long, they had a mouse problem. So instead of hire somebody to come in and take care of the mice, we had our own traps set up, and we were catching like 3 or 4 every night. And then we realized, like, okay, this is a bigger problem than just using, you know, mice traps. So we went and got this amazing cat here. Yes. And she's our head mouser here. She, if there's a mouse around, this cat is on top of it. She wants it, and she eats the whole thing, too. That's why she's after my steak. But now we got 3 more cats, because that happens. You know, cat math is kind of like chicken math. Anybody ever own chickens, you understand chicken math. For some reason, the same thing happens with cats for some people. That sauce is really, really yummy, buttery. Yeah, she's a good kitty. She's just sitting here quietly. Sometimes I can get her to talk. You say, Mom? Go ahead. No? Say, Mom. Oh, a little whine. Say, Mom. Say, Mom. No? She doesn't want to talk. Mm. Hey, Dietary Quarrels. Nice to see you in there. So the orange liquid is actually butter. I cooked up a bunch of shrimp. I drained the liquid from the shrimp. Frozen shrimp creates a lot of liquid. And then I threw in about 3/4 of a stick of butter into the shrimp. And then the orange stuff you see here, that's actually the spice. So I used cayenne pepper and paprika. That's what's making it that color. But it's quite delicious, by the way. And so far, paprika and cayenne pepper don't really screw up my gut, especially my upper digestive system. It's really sensitive to spicy stuff, and particulars like black pepper, that screws me up. It's weird. I can't have black pepper, but I can have cayenne pepper, and I can have a whole bunch of paprika and stuff. It's like garlic. I can't stomach garlic powder anymore, or actual garlic, but I can have garlic salt. I don't know why that is. Mm. Oh, I got a super spicy bite there. Yeah, it was definitely steak. Yeah, it's just a buttery sauce with a bunch of spice in it. Works out pretty good. Mm. Yeah, this is pretty good. It's not bad. Let's see here. What's going on there? Dietary. Oh my God. Things are moving quickly. Deliciousness. I can't do nightshade spices. I can't do any kind of nightshade veggies. I'm not a big fan of the nightshade veggies either. But I also don't really focus on categories. I just focus on, okay, I'm going to try this, and if it's going to make me feel like crap, then I'm going to avoid it from now on. I found that out in a couple restaurants here in town. I went to these two different Mongolian barbecue type places where I could one of them I got some really, really good food. So I had some sprouts, some cabbage, a little bit of that, but they let me fill the bowl with like 90% meat. And then I cooked it up in whatever sauce they had for Mongolian sauce. And I was fine at one restaurant. Then I went to another one across town, and I tried their version. I was so sick within 30 minutes. I mean, it wasn't like vomiting type sick. I just did not feel good. I felt like I just ate deep fried food kind of feeling. Like really, really bogged down and heavy feeling. My stomach was like kind of bloated. And the other restaurant didn't do that to me, which was so strange. So now I'll go back to Twin Dragons and I'll skip the other one. I think it's called Ding Hao. But when I was eating anything and everything, I used to go to both of them, and I'd get their traditional American type Oriental food. Just yeah, it's a lot of badness in those things. Hmm. Let's see what else we got here. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. I had to get rid of Burmese python because the mice, the rats creep me out. That's too bad. That poor python. Pythons are pretty nice. I had some pretty large snakes when I was younger. Had a lot of fun with them. Can't say I had a python. But I was when I lived on the East Coast, I did a foster thing for exotic birds. Because people they'd get these birds and they wouldn't realize that these birds live to be like 80, 90 years old. They usually outlive a lot of the owners, especially if the owners buy the bird like in their 30s or 40s. that bird will definitely outlive that owner. But people would just buy these exotic parrots and they would leave them in apartments and move out. Kind of like some people do with cats. They just toss the cat out the door and they leave. That's why we have so many random cats all over the place. But yeah, I used to be a foster home for a lot of those birds, and it was so fun. And I learned a lot about these birds. I found out they were, birds, and the reason why they talk and the reason they act the way they do, they have a pretty good memory. They're basically a toddler. They're wanting to learn, but they never get to like full adulthood. But they can remember a remarkable amount of words, especially cuss words. So if you're like walking around, stub your toe, and you say, "Ah, dang," your bird might just automatically start, "Ah, dang, ah, dang, ah, dang," and be doing that for the next 6 months until you teach it something different. Hi there, Hansa. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's Molly purring. She's like right next to the microphone. The Iceman. I do not know who Richard is. I have no idea. Who is Richard? Paul must be talking to somebody else. Let's see. It looks like him. Nope. Don't have any idea who Richard is. Well, this meal is almost gone. I am absolutely stuffed now. So before I started the stream, I made over 2 pounds of yummy shrimp. I ate most of that, and then I was like, oh, I'm making steak, so I wanted to put that sauce on top of the steak and see how it went, because it's primarily made of butter. Yeah, and it turned out pretty darn well. He was a serial killer. That's nice. From New Jersey, too. Wow. Never heard of him. Maybe he moved to Alaska, too, to get away from all the crazy people down there. That wouldn't surprise me much. We got a lot of crazy killers up here. They come from the lower 48, and they get up here and they act all stupid. Just trying to pick up my mess here. I don't have anything for dessert, not really. Oh, I do have some blueberries. Now, I will allow some blueberries on the carnivore diet. For one, their blueberries are extremely ketosis friendly. Even though they're not meat-based, 4 ounces of blueberries, I can eat a whole flat of 4 ounces of blueberries. It doesn't take me out of ketosis. I still keep losing weight. It's sweet, but it's not so sweet that it just throws me into a sugar spiral. And blueberries are a great trick type treat. And I got a couple nasty ones in here. These are getting old. But they're a nice way to try to curb your sweet addiction too. These have been in there for a while. They're still good. Yep. And yeah, unfortunately they're getting moldy. And I'm still eating them. Nope. Okay, those gotta go in the garbage. Oh well. We tried blueberries. But yeah, blueberries are extremely safe. Probably one of the safest fruits out there that I've eaten so far on a weight loss journey is blueberries. Let's see, cottage cheese works really well. Now the only problem with dairy that I've had on the carnivore diet is that really slows your weight loss down at times. But it's extremely healthy. It's usually good fat. It's filling fat. So cottage cheese, sour cream works. Butter works. But I've never been a big fan of just diving into butter and taking bites of butter like some people do. I see a lot of women do it more so than the men, but it seems to work for them. Looking like a dog. Yeah, there's been wild stuff happening in Alaska. Yeah, wild stuff happening to people that I actually know up here. So I found out years ago there was a coffee barista. Her name was Samantha Koenig, and it turned out after she was abducted, I found out she was she's a pretty close cousin of mine. I've never met her. I really didn't even get to know the family that well, but yeah, that was crazy. The guy took her, and then I passed by the lake where he cut a hole in the ice and shoved her down in the ice. I mean, it's sad story. And I remember seeing her photos everywhere. She was gorgeous. She was a gorgeous little girl. And yeah, I would have never known. And I think I probably bought coffee from her years ago. So I mean, Alaska's a huge place, but it's a real tiny community. Oh, and then there was another lady. I wasn't related to this one, but she was hacked up by a guy. They called him the machete murderer. He killed a few people with a machete. I mean, he managed to make it from dang near Anchorage. He maybe have walked all the way to Palmer to do that, and then he hacked her all up. Poor lady was missing all kinds of digits, and she survived. Her partner that she was in bed with passed away from the attack. That was crazy. I mean, there's some really dark things that happen here in Alaska from time to time. Let's see, Maggie is in her 80s, carnivore, no kidney issues, looks half her age. That's awesome, Cindy. That is absolutely awesome. Now, I'm 50 years old. I've been working lately like I'm 30 years old. Something that I did just yesterday, in fact, is I drive these dump trucks, these big semi and dump trucks. So it's a tractor trailer with a dump bed on it, and it's been cold up here. We've been hauling gravel. Now I get inside the bed and I spray it down with antifreeze to hopefully let the gravel fall out on the ground. But the interesting thing is like at the end of my day, I had about 6.5 to 8 tons of gravel frozen up in the nose of the trailer, and I had to shovel all that out and break it up so I could get it to come out the other end. But so while I was up there, I got about 4 tons of this gravel loose, and it was so cold that the loose gravel that I just loosened up from a frozen pile refroze to the bed again. I mean, so I was just like, oh my goodness. And then in order to do this process, you got to get in the bed, loosen up the gravel, jump out, run back out, get back in the truck, and raise this big, huge, giant dump truck bed and let it dump out. But yeah, I had to do that like 3 or 4 times to get all of this stuff out. It was just it took me a while, but I was just amazed at how much energy I had. So I'd be shoveling. I'd take a little break, say a couple cuss words, and then I'd go right back to shovel some more. And then, take a little break, say a couple more cuss words, and, kick the side of the dump bed, and then just shovel. And I was like a machine. And then when I was done with it all, I was hot and sweaty. And it's cold outside. It was cold. But I had just a ton of energy still. And I was like, wow. Who was it? Sean Baker. I think he was the one talking about how he goes and does his exercise and he doesn't hurt afterwards. He doesn't feel sore. I don't feel sore at all today. And I hand shoveled frozen gravel out of the back of a dump truck, and I don't feel any side effects from that whatsoever. Now, years ago, if I were to have tried that before the carnivore diet, I would have been not on camera right now. I'd be in bed because my back hurt. Everything hurts. It's just absolutely nuts. How well the carnivore diet works. But it did take a while to get to this point where I felt like, I could do some pretty remarkable things that I couldn't do a year and a half ago, like shovel all that dirt. Like, for one thing, I don't shovel stuff. I mean, snow. Yeah, I'll push it around the driveway, but I have an easy fat man way of doing that. And I don't have a problem running a shovel now. I don't feel like I'm going to have a heart attack when I do strenuous things after eating just a whole bunch of food. I just don't feel like that anymore. Unfortunately, I still have a nicotine addiction, but that's life. Yeah, kind of, sort of, Felix. But yeah, I don't know when you dived in there, Felix. I started the stream. I had a ribeye steak. I've been experimenting with my air fryer back here in the back, mainly because I have an air fryer and I really don't use it much. I never tried making air fryer steaks before, and I like it better than in a pan. And you know, Felix, you've been around a while. I like making it in cast iron. I like making steaks in that new granite coated pan I have. I like that pan too for eggs, but I never messed around with steak in the air fryer, and it does make a little bit of a mess. So there's that, but it makes everything on the steak just taste that much better. So if you've never tried an air fryer steak, I don't care what kind of air fryer you have, figure it out. You know, grab a steak, toss it in the air fryer for a little while. Definitely flip it halfway, or else you're going to have one side that's got a nice sear on it, and the other side's just kind of like mealy meat looking. Not very appealing, but it's so delicious. It makes the fat like melt in your mouth. And this last one I did tonight, I did for 10 minutes. So 5 minutes on one side, heavily salted, 5 minutes on the other side. And yeah, just boom on the plate. It was great. Yeah, the air fryer is a lot of fun. I mean, it's one of those things that's just strange, because when you get an air fryer, when I bought an air fryer, I thought it was better than deep frying. But when I bought my air fryer, I bought it so I could make frozen burritos and like frozen little mini pizzas, and just the stuff that I used to make in the air fryer was just, you know, egg rolls. That was another one. Like frozen egg rolls, frozen random burritos, you know, like gas station burritos at home. Wow, what was I doing wrong there? I don't know. Hey there, Northy. How are you today? Let's see. You have nice skin, and your face looks so clear from being outside in the cold. I have nice skin, and my face looks clear from the carnivore diet, and I drink a lot of water. I haven't been drinking a lot of water lately. Now through the summer, I drink about a gallon to a gallon and a half a day. So far here through the winter months, I've only been drinking about a liter of water, which is just my basic electrolyte mix that I bring. So I've been drinking about a liter of water at work. But the clear skin, the no adult acne, is another amazing factor of the carnivore diet. Is that if you eat meats and fats, you skip all the other crap food, your skin gets clear. I used to have pimples all over my chest. I used to have pimples on my back, even as an adult. Yeah, they were pretty bad. My back is totally cleared up now. It's so much nicer now. Plus, it's not nearly itchy or scratchy. My dog's doing stuff behind me. I gotta buy some egg rolls tomorrow. I forgot all about those. Egg rolls are pretty good, but I'm not into that stuff anymore. I do get off the rails once in a while. I try to be realistic with myself, but I know what I can get away with and what I can't. So I'll see something, and I'll be like, I can have a little bit of that, and then I go right back to the meat. Not a problem. Not a problem. No harm, no foul. I think a lot of the majority of these carnivore diet people that are doing this stuff, some are super, super strict people. But the majority of people that I've met in real life that are doing the carnivore diet, they're sensible type people. You know, they're eating at least 90%. And then once in a while, they'll go off the rails a little bit. They'll have just whatever, some candy, some cake, some cookies. But they're not overindulging in that stuff. They overindulge in the meats, you know, the steaks, whatever kind of meat, bacon, eggs. I mean, you can just gorge yourself on that stuff. Your body's going to tell you, okay, you're done. You're not hungry anymore. Just like after eating that ribeye steak. That was over a pound of ribeye steak. And I had approximately 2 pounds of shrimp. So that's about 3 pounds of meat and protein and fat, and then the butter mixed in there, and you know, whatever fat comes on the ribeye. and it just works. I feel super satiated, super stuffed. I don't want to run to the pantry and get into a bunch of candy or junk food or, cookies or ice cream or anything like that. So right now I'm at the point where of my night, I kind of have a little meat baby going on down there. I just want to go take a shower, maybe lay back, watch a movie or something for a little while. And then since I'm digesting so much animal fat and protein, it's just going to make me naturally sleepy. And I'll fall asleep. And I've been doing this for quite a while. I've been eating OMAD one meal a day at the end of the day. So about 5, 6 o'clock, I'll have my meal. And I give myself about a 2-hour feeding window. So after 2 hours from when I ate, I'm not going to eat anything else, no matter what. I just don't. No snacks, no nothing. If I want something else, I just drink a glass of water, and that's it. You're done. Go to bed. Then you sleep like a baby. You sleep so nice. Especially now that my sleep apnea is gone. My stress levels are just super low, because I'm excelling in everything in my life now. Everything I do, YouTube content creation, I'm excelling there. Financially, I'm excelling there because you just naturally make more money when you get healthier. People want you to do more. You become more useful. And that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now, is I can do a lot more stuff at work. So I'm more versatile. Even as a truck driver, I can do several different jobs, several different tasks. I can be asked to do an extreme workload, and I can handle it now. I don't get stressed out. I'm just like, okay, it's either going to happen or it's not, so let's get started. I show up to work every single day with the whole thought process of, I'm here to provide you a service. What do you need done? Let's get it done. Let's get it started. Give me a game plan where you want me to start, and then I just get the ball rolling. And it's like that every single day. So some days I do stuff I don't want to do. I'm not butthurt about it. I would have been a year and a half ago, because when you're overweight, you're hormonal. You're going one way or another all the time. Your ups and downs, your sugar crashes, your sugar highs, your caffeine overload. And there was just so much going on there. But once I got rid of all of that stuff, I was able to focus on myself, focus on my life, and actually just be so much better, out in the workforce. And that's so much fun. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's see, is it scheduled eating habits you have? And do you feel hungry in between meals? I do not feel hungry in between meals, Felix. I literally am a natural OMAD except for Saturdays and Sundays. So my normal work week is Monday through Saturday. I just put in for Saturdays off, so now it's Monday through Friday. But I let myself get a little more relaxed on the weekends. So if I want to have more than one meal a day, I'll do that on a Saturday or Sunday. And this is going back to my original principles of focus on 5 solid days of anything you're doing. Just pick 5 days of the week, focus on whatever you're doing health related for those 5 days, and then whatever. You can't screw that up in 2 days. There's no amount of food I can eat in 2 days that's going to screw up 5 days of focused on anything, regardless if it's a sardine fast, an egg fast, or just simply a regular fast where I'm not eating food for a period of time. And the reason I started the carnivore diet is because I was getting tired of fasting. I got exhausted from too much fasting, because that's how I got my weight loss journey started. Dramatic weight loss will happen with the absence of food. It's just basically how everything works. But that fasting taught me a lot about myself. It taught me how to mitigate different foods. It taught me to make better choices when I broke my fast. So I was learning a lot the entire time I was learning how to fast. I haven't done a fast, like an actual fast, in a long time, besides only eating once a day. That's the closest thing to a fast that I've been doing in a long time. And I've been losing a lot of weight, eating one meal a day, no snacks throughout the day, just drink water. I have black coffee in the morning, and just lose weight. Whoa, thank you there. I appreciate you. That was nice of you. That's something I don't ask for, guys. I don't ask for donations or anything like that. I talk about this stuff just from my heart. I just want to help maybe that one person that might start losing weight like I did, because I wish I had somebody that just were to come out there and make it really simple in plain English. Because when you get out here on the internet and you're looking at all these weight loss geniuses and gurus, they all have clients, they all have products. I don't have any of that. You know, I just started losing weight with little to no exercise, you know, with fasting, and then I just kept it going. I was already making YouTube videos, so I was talking about it. I just kept it going. And then there's a lot of people, even some of these people that saw my journey got inspired to start their own weight loss journey, and they're doing YouTube now. They're talking about their journey on YouTube, maybe in a different type of way. But my point is, you know, if only a handful of people that hear my voice actually get something started, they get fed up enough with the way they look, the way they feel, they want to be a better person for themselves, you know, then I'm winning. Then I'm winning. That's so important. And you know, God got me started on all this in the first place, you know, because I prayed for him to take my life, and he said no. You know, I was almost disappointed at that point, but I was in a bad situation. You know, sleep apnea, I couldn't hardly walk. Just getting up to go to the bathroom was excruciatingly painful. And then, yeah, I was kind of felt like I was pushed to talk about it and talk about my journey and just share it with people. And I just never understood a lot of these health people that get on here and they talk on YouTube about how healthy they are and, you know, what they wish they knew at certain points. You know, they wish they, you know, walked more. Well, walking is a great exercise. But when I was morbidly obese, walking almost any distance at all would injure me. I had things going on. I have high arches. I have hammer toe. At that time, when I was super heavy, I had plantar fasciitis. If anybody's had that, you know it's incredibly painful. Plantar fasciitis is incredibly painful. I got over all that, but as the body was transitioning from really, really morbidly obese to all of a sudden lightening up, I went through a lot of other pains, because apparently when you get morbidly obese, your body just does all these weird adjustments as you're getting back down to a normal size. And I'm still big, but I feel normal now. I feel a lot more normal. I don't see myself in the mirror like normal. I don't notice that my head is like half the size it used to be, because I used to have this big fat face. I mean, it's just when I see my old pictures in front of me now, I'm just like, holy cow, that's a big difference. I notice the difference when I dry off, when I get out of the shower. There's a whole lot less of me now when I dry off. It's a big difference. Let's see. Hello, Marty here from Long Island, New York. First time here. Hey there, Martin. Let's see. I don't like marijuana per se. I'm not against it. My ex-wife was really, really good at growing marijuana. She was really good. She could grow a lot of pot and make house payments. She was really good. I don't even like my ex-wife, but if she were to call and be like, hey, could you give me a reference for, you know, growing pot, that would probably be the only thing nice that I could come up with for my ex-wife, because she was amazing at growing weed. Let's see, Big Man, John and Big John Hart. Oh, thank you, Felix. Let's see. Hello again to Martin. Johnny Cat, I just not losing weight. Really? I mean, what's going on, Johnny? Are you just getting started on something, or are you in a situation where you feel like you need to lose weight, you only need to lose a little bit of weight, or are you trying to lose a lot of weight like I did? I mean, I managed to lose 100 pounds in 15 weeks with no exercise. I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome. That's 100 pounds off. And now I'm down 170 pounds in a year and a half, almost exactly a year and a half. So, yeah, crazy. So in 15 weeks, I lost 100 pounds. That sounds crazy to me, just saying it. That's my story. That's what happened. You know, that's how my videos came. 15 weeks, I lost 100 pounds. Nuts. I mean, it's possible. So don't believe anything's... You can do anything if you really want to. Let's see, Martin. I cannot gain weight no matter what I do. I've heard that problem. There's a lot of people out there that can't gain weight. But are you eating a carnivore type diet? Are you eating a vegetable type diet? Or, Martin, are you eating like just traditional whatever type foods? You're not worried about what you're eating. because that can be part of the problem too. Because there's so much nonsense going on in today's food. The way they market the food, the stuff they're putting in the foods, sugar. There's so much sugar in all these foods. But I've been hearing a lot of questions and getting a lot of questions about weight gain. Let's see, I'm on the same page, Marty. Yeah, Felix was another one asking me those questions too, because he's trying to gain weight. I had a close friend here in Alaska. He spent all his life trying to gain weight, and he started eating donuts, just like crazy donuts, and just eating a lot of junk food, eating all the wrong foods. He was just never happy with his size, and I don't know how to help somebody that's trying to gain weight. Besides, I gained a lot of my weight from overeating pizza. I ate a lot of ice cream, and it's not necessarily the best way to try to gain weight, though. So, okay, Johnny Cat says try to lose 20 pounds on meat, ribeye, and chicken and eggs. The only thing I would leave out of that equation, Johnny Cat, would be the chicken. Only because the chicken doesn't have a whole lot of fat. So the more fat that I intake, it seems like the more my body does for me. So the way this diet works is, yes, I'm eating a lot of protein, I'm eating a lot of animal products, but it seems like the more fat, and I kept hearing this in the beginning, middle of my journey, or wherever I'm at now, with people like, oh, just try to up the fat some more, try to get some more fat. Well, I did that when I started with ribeye steaks. Ribeye steaks provide almost the perfect balance of natural fat and connective tissues. I mean, if you can afford it. But if that's the only meal you're eating a day is ribeye steak, that's not that expensive anymore. You know, because you're not buying the condiments, you're not buying the side dishes, you're not buying all the extra stuff. Like my favorite way to go around ribeye steaks is I like ribeye steaks. I have about 3 to 6 eggs, and then I'll eat 2 Alaska reindeer sausages. That's it. That's a little over 2,200 calories right there. And that's perfect. I'm losing weight eating over 2,000 calories a day, but it's one meal a day. It's about a 2-hour feeding window, and then I go to bed. They say don't eat before going to bed because your body's going to store it. Bullcrap. So far, everything that they've ever told me that was going to happen to me that was bad has not happened. I haven't had clogged arteries. I haven't had high blood pressure. I haven't had diabetes. I haven't had a lot of things that they keep saying. A heart attack, that's not happening. My heart palpitations went away. I used to have bad heart palpitations. I didn't know. They scared me because I didn't know what they were. Your heart skips a beat and it does some weird fluttering. Your chest will actually do this. It'll just sometimes, and you're just like, you're coughing because you're out of breath because your heart's not beating correctly. Went away. Okay. And then when my sleep apnea magically went away, I was kind of sold on the diet at that point because before I started all of this, I was like, nonsense. You guys are full of crap. There's no way that just eating meats and fats can do that. And then all of a sudden I started it. And I was trying to debunk the carnivore diet. I was like, well, I'm doing YouTube. It might be fun. I could debunk the carnivore diet. Something bad will happen. Nothing bad happened. Crazy amounts of eggs. Like over 100 eggs in a week. That's all I ate. You know what happened? My T count went up. My hormones balanced out. My blood pressure was perfect. I was healthier than ever after eating over 100 eggs in a week. And I lost weight. Not just a little weight. I lost a dramatic amount of weight eating only eggs in a week. And then I'm just sitting there like this, my hand on my head. I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't debunk this. Let's try bacon. Okay. Then it was like a solid week, and I was eating like 3 pounds of bacon, 3 pounds of bacon, 4 pounds of bacon, 3 pounds, so many pounds of bacon. This has got to screw me up. Bacon. You know, bacon's so unhealthy, blah, blah, blah. Went and got blood work done. All improved. I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't going to work. Maybe there is something to this carnivore diet stuff. And, you know, because people are telling me about, oh, yeah, your body odor goes away. Your skin clears up. You look cleaner. Everything about you. is cleaner, and it is cleaner. Like there's no stench anymore. I can go to work, I can sweat. When I'm done, I come home, my feet don't stink anymore. I have no more crotch odor. If you're morbidly obese, you know what I'm talking about. I have no more body odor. Nothing. Nothing. If I get body odor, it's because I had a spice. Like garlic for one thing. That will create a scent, body odor. But that's about the only reason I get body odor now is because of something I ate. And that's where a lot of the body odor comes from in the first place. It's the crappy food you're eating. If your partner smells like poo, it's because maybe you might want to focus on what they're eating. Start feeding your spouse something a little bit healthier, and they're not going to smell like poo. Because if you eat crap, you smell like crap. It's that simple. You might as well just smear it all over you. Weird. You just lose weight. Yeah, hide your ladies. That's funny, Christopher. Welcome to the group, Marty. Good night, y'all. Hey, it's nice seeing you there. I like Dietary Quarrels. She's on Facebook as well, underneath the same name tag there. I do enjoy reading the stuff that she posts. Some really interesting stuff and some debatable stuff and fun stuff to look at. But she's got her own little things going on, just like we all do. Let's see. I get on rants and I tend to miss a whole bunch of the conversation. Felix asked the question, if I was a smoker before vaping. Absolutely. I'm still kind of a dual user nowadays. When I'm at home, this is all I do when I'm at home. When I go to work, that might be when I get into smoking cigarettes again on occasions. But I don't worry about it as much anymore because I just don't. I focused on it too much for a while, and I actually made the situation worse. But yeah, absolutely. Have a good night there, Dietary Quarrels. But one thing I will say about vape, I was vaping before the vaping whole thing took off. It was always safer than smoking. There was a while there when I was trying to quit smoking that I was prescribed vapes. Go figure. But they also prescribed cigarettes back in the day, like long time ago. Most people don't remember that. They're not old enough to remember that. But when people were highly stressed out, it's kind of like Valium. They were prescribing cigarettes to patients. And cigarettes used to come in military C rations too. Weird. Martin, I am 50 years old. I work now like I'm 30 years old again. Easily. And yeah, I kind of work circles around a lot of the younger kids. But when you look at the younger kids and you see what they're eating, and they're eating a bag of Skittles, majority of them are drinking Monster Energy drinks, they're drinking Red Bulls, they're doing this daily up and down baloney. And then you talk to them about it and they agree with you, but then they're still doing the same thing every single day. And I don't think that's going to change. I don't think anything I'm going to say is going to change their mind to get away from Red Bull energy drinks or nonsense stuff like that. They're just going to have to hit that wall like I did. I basically face planted, and then I had to get fed up. And once I got fed up, I started losing weight. I started getting things going again. And it really wasn't that hard. It just took a while. It just took a while to, gain the confidence and learn enough to figure out okay, so this is good for me. I can lose some weight by fasting, and then I can eat after a period of time. But then, there is no, you can eat whatever you want diet. Except for just not feel very well for the rest of your life. But so far, since I started the carnivore diet, I feel great every single day. As long as I'm eating the majority of meats and fats, every single day, I feel wonderful. The only time I feel like crap, depressed, or anxious is after I ate a bunch of sugary crap or a bunch of carbs, stuff I shouldn't have gotten into. That's the only time. And those feelings come back quickly. That's one thing I have to warn people about, is that when you do this type of lifestyle and you start reaping all the benefits, there is no end to the rainbow. You just don't switch and go back to exactly what you used to do before you started, doing the carnivore diet or a keto type diet. There is no end, because diets have an ending. Like all the diets I've ever tried before, it's like you did them for like 6 months and then you're done. And then you just go back to, you lost weight, you feel better. Now you're just going to eat whatever you feel like for a while. And that's the roller coaster. That's how I went up. That's how I went down. And I did that for most of my life, just like everybody else I know that are struggling with weight loss. Now I got people surrounding me struggling for weight gain. I mean, like I said, I know how to gain weight. It's just not the right kind of weight, not metabolically healthy type of weight. But I do know how to gain weight. I appreciate that, Martin. Let's see. I'm currently still on 80% meat, 20% rice, and potatoes. That's not a bad average. Now the thing with rice and potatoes is you just got to focus on where you're getting what type of rice, where it's coming from. If you're going to add rice in for your carbs, but I would have a very small amount of rice if I was going to be introducing any rice into my diet right now. I try to dial it back to 15 to 20% carbohydrates if I was going to add any carbohydrates. Now I have experimented with some carbohydrates throughout this weight loss journey because I have a thing with my hands now since I've lost so much weight dramatically and I'm eating a carnivore type diet that my hands have developed something called Raynaud's syndrome, whatever that is, but it's where your hands get cold really, really fast. So I was, for a period of time, I was adding in 15 to 20% carbs, and I was choosing my carbs wisely. So I was getting my carbs from like fruits or some basic vegetables, like basic stuff. So either bananas or like an orange or just whatever, just getting my carbs lightly from stuff like that. And I was getting some benefit as far as my hands not feeling like they're cold all the time. It's still a problem. And this is also why I started taking iodine supplements, because the iodine supplements are said to potentially help those people suffering from Raynaud's syndrome, cold hands. So far, I haven't really noticed that the iodine is really effective there, but I am really new with iodine supplements. So I'm like less than a week into taking iodine supplements. So we're definitely seeing how that goes. I'm really looking forward to not having cold hands, because when it gets to like minus something degrees outside, it really sucks. But I can say that they're not nearly as bad as they were a year ago. So yeah, I'm getting some success there. But Felix, if you could just try to figure out 15-20% of your carb load, that but you're trying to gain weight too, so I don't know about you, Felix. I want to see you have success, regardless if it's gaining weight, losing weight, or getting a little bit healthier. I want to see you have success, but I don't have a good one for healthy weight gain, except for carbs. So when I was lifting weights and I was trying to deliberately gain weight for muscle mass and stuff like that, I would have a specific meal plan. A lot of that meal plan, of course, is protein. I was getting a lot of lean protein at that time. Now let's see, I was also using broccoli a lot. Broccoli messes me up. I don't know about you, but I was using broccoli a lot. I was getting a lot of the carbohydrates out of the broccoli, which was helping me build muscle. Pasta, a lot of pizza, the pizza dough, ingredients that go on top of pizza. But yeah, a lot of spaghetti, lasagna type dishes, a lot of cheesy, heavy cheese type dishes. Those were things that I was using to naturally bulk up. When I was just trying to get that buff look, like beefcake, just trying to look like a beefcake, and that worked. I mean, that really did. That worked. I was gaining muscle quick. I was gaining mass quick, but I was also a whole lot younger. I mean, I was like down in my 20s at that time. But yeah, weight gain, that's a tough one. especially if you're on the topic of carnivore diet type stuff. Because so far, what I've experienced on the carnivore diet is that the carnivore diet just basically gets you to where you should be, where your body naturally should be. There was a gentleman on Facebook today that was talking about how he wants to gain weight too. The people around him also say that he should gain weight. But a lot of these people are people that are used to that person being unhealthy. And I went through that phase too with some of my friends and stuff. They're like, "Oh, you're losing weight too fast. You might want to, throttle that back." Like, okay, how? How do I throttle something back that I'm trying to reverse? Some people said in my life that, like, "Oh, you're just gonna hit a wall and you're just gonna balloon right back up, be heavier than you were." Boy, I couldn't imagine being heavier than 435 pounds. That's a lot of weight. I didn't want to be that heavy in the first place, but it's weight gain is such a slow creeper. It comes on so incredibly slow that your eyesight, your mind, your memory, everything about your body that you see in the mirror, you don't even recognize until you're like, "What happened to me?" And you're literally like, "What happened to me? How did I get this way?" But it's a process of events. I mean, thankfully, weight loss can be a whole lot faster than the weight gain, the morbidly obese type weight gain. That took me years to put on 435 pounds. And I've been over 300 pounds for probably the majority of my adult life. But yeah, once you start creeping up over that 400-pound mark, and it's miraculous how slow it comes, and how you just get used to seeing yourself like, "Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with me, blah blah blah. I don't know why I have sleep apnea," and you don't realize that your neck is like twice the size. I mean, I can actually see details now. And it makes it a pain in the butt to shave because, like, I have these little divots back here and I can't hardly get the razor back in here. And there's just so much that changes when your face starts shrinking. So many people don't even realize how swollen their head is. Their head is like twice the size it is supposed to be. It's like, when are they going to get it? I don't know. Something in my mouth that was bugging the crap out of me. I just said that this morning. Let's see. What should I be aware of when taking that transition? One thing I'll be trying out after the month has ended is to go 95, 100% carnivore for the whole month. Felix, the best way that I would recommend going, if you're going to do a full transition for 30 days, focus on 30 days. Just 30 days. Okay? Just focus on that. That was enough time for me to really, really figure out. That's enough time to remove like everything, but you're still eating food. Beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. If you can do that, or find some other basic variation of beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. And just do that for a solid month. Because that removes so much stuff out of your life. Like, that fast. And a month isn't that long. It's just the hard part is if you have family members, you have a spouse that's not eating the carnivore way. The only way that I managed to do that was because I was in Nome and I was in that apartment situation with some roommates. So I was literally just eating my meals. The only time that I got slightly off the rails up in Nome was when I had, trips over to my family's house. So I would eat whatever they were having or whatever they prepared. Carnivore or not, a lot of it was more meat based than I even imagined. So it worked. It worked out well, and I wasn't doing it every single day or every single night, so it wasn't really affecting the overall remove this, remove that type thing. But then you start adding simple things back in, and once I started adding simple things back in, after I got back home after about a month and a half. The instant distractions. First thing I wanted was pizza. Like, even traditional pizza when I got home. I was just gone for so long from traditional food up there. I was just like, man, I'm just gonna do me for a couple days. And then I started feeling like crap. I don't have that craving anymore for like regular pizza. Now there was another thing, another pizza I used to eat to avoid the pizza craving, and that was the cauliflower pizza, which worked, cauliflower crust pizza. That worked really well. I tried one of those after returning home, and it was like me going to Taco Bell for the very first time as a young guy. It was not pleasant for almost 2.5 days. It was bad news, bad news. Uh, but that was something I would eat, every weekend, while, doing 90-10 eating principle, the carnivore diet. So like on the weekend would be my day to have a cauliflower pizza, get that pizza craving out, and it worked really well for people that have a pizza addiction, real strong pizza addiction like I do. And it also kept me in ketosis. I was losing weight eating it, and it wasn't the worst overly processed food that I could possibly have. I know a lot more. Yes, ma'am. Can I help you? Oh my gosh. Would you like me to shake your bowl? This is my gray bear, and she's very demanding for attention when she wants attention. That's why she was stretching. Let's see. Susan, what happened to me? Let's see. I just said that this morning. Let's see. What should you be aware? Just said what this morning, Susan? I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. Let's see. One thing I'll be trying out after the month. Okay. Reasons I'm wanting to try it out now is that I found a guy that sells caribou meat and seal meat that I'll try to eat for the whole month. Caribou meat tends to be a problem. We've found people, well, not we, they found people dead on the tundra because they ate a lot of caribou meat. Because depending on what part of the caribou, it doesn't have a lot of nutritional value. It's got a lot of protein, but they found people dead because there's not a lot of fat content to a lot of caribou meat. So if you can get the fat mixed in with caribou meat or add fat somehow, with bacon, beef fat. So a lot of people that go moose hunting, moose at times tends some of the leaner cuts. People will take and they'll grind it up into ground beef, but they'll add beef fat in with their moose or their caribou meat. That way it'll up the fat content, so people won't have that starvation type symptom. Let's see. Now when I think of it now, I haven't been eating pizza for a whole month. Yeah, pizza. I mean, I was horribly pizza addicted. I mean, like right now at this time of day, I'd be just chilling out here at the table, usually playing video games on this phone that I'm using to record this, and I would literally just be like, let's wreck it. Hey, give me like 3 large pizzas, and 1.5 of those pizzas would be mine. Yeah, crazy. Hey there, thank you, Carnivore Transformer. Hey, I haven't heard from you in a long time. South Africa, that's right. You are a long way from here, aren't you? Boy, yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard from you. I mean, I know how this all works, but yeah. Very nice. Let's see. I like seeing people that I recognize. I really like that. I like people that come back and we talk, just sensible type discussions here. Oh, you got some updates recently? Maybe I've just been like, I took 1 week off and I got like so many messages on the side and emails, and I was like, I kind of felt bad, but that 1 week that I took off because I thought I had a bright idea. I was like, oh yeah, watch this. I'm gonna go off the rails on purpose and get into the holiday candy on purpose and eat a lot of off the rail foods for like a week. And then I was gonna like have this great epiphany, like I was gonna talk about it like it was something wonderful. And then the anxiety, the depression, all of that came back like that week. It was so bad. It was frustrating. I mean, I felt ashamed. I felt just embarrassed. And I wasn't even making a video that week because I just couldn't. And then the video I tried making, I've never even finished it. It wasn't even carnivore related type stuff or health related type stuff. And I got halfway through it and I'm like, my brain is scrambled. I couldn't keep a coherent thought together. And I was like, what am I doing to myself? And so I didn't create a video for 1 week. And sometimes that really botches up the whole system in the YouTube world. Yeah, I was born here in Alaska, Martin. Not far from where I'm living right now. I got a lot of family in Nome. My wife's family, a lot of them live in Nome. One of my relatives flew in today, which was nice. She brought a present from my Aka up north, some handmade socks. Those are beautiful. I mean, they're handmade. You know, she was actually making them while I was up there. And they were supposed to be a surprise. They did turn out to be a surprise because I forgot that she said she was making them until they actually showed up here. But handmade gifts, man, that's just something that people don't do much of anymore. It's like everybody's on Amazon, going to Walmart or Target. It's like if they can't find it in a store, it's not a gift, I guess. But that blew me away. It doesn't even have to be Christmas. It was just amazingly thoughtful that woman spent hours upon hours knitting socks, for me. And I like them. They're warm. They're cozy. But yeah, weird. Let's see. Do you find that you relate more to Beavis or Butthead? Let me see. Beavis. Which one's Beavis? I think it would be Beavis if I were to relate to one or the other. I used to watch them like all the time. It was so much fun growing up through that time frame. Let's see. I know what you're talking about. Also got into a tight spot on the past. I'm considering it as a learning curve. Thanks for the share. Yeah, everything's a learning curve. But the funny thing about it was Carnivore Transformer is what really threw me off was I lost 2 pounds going off the rails. How? I was like, I ate Halloween candy. A lot of it. Like, not just a little bit of it. It was like just stupid amounts. And I was like, so much that, the tooth sensitivity came back. Now, like all of my teeth, since going more strict carnivore, I've had cavities re-heal, just completely heal back up. Like cavities gone. Like they just heal back up. I haven't had not even a wisp of a thought of going to the dentist because everything in my mouth has improved, just by eating meats and fats. I didn't even know that was possible. I mean, I knew you could do stuff in your life somehow magically that, you could basically heal your own cavities, that you don't need all this fluoride or, excessive stuff going on with your teeth. But if you eat meats and fats, apparently your mouth, your gums stop bleeding. My gums did finally stop bleeding after a period of time because I heard so many people talking about it. They're like, oh, my gums stopped bleeding. And I'm just like stuffing myself with meat. And I'm like, I wish that would happen to me. Because if I flossed, it looked like I just, killed somebody in my mouth. Just blood everywhere whenever I flossed. But then I got to a point in the carnivore diet where it just stopped. And I was like, that really happened to me? I was like, weird. Okay, I'm okay with that. But that's the miraculous thing about the carnivore diet is that these things just happen. And I really don't have a way to explain it. I just know that a lot of the things that people say, the yada yada stuff, the people that don't believe the carnivore diet works, like that stuff really happens. It does. Why? I don't know. I would never have fathomed that these things would happen unless I've actually just tried the diet. And like I tried to screw up the diet, and these things just keep happening. These great things. Let's see. How's the view on soup with carnivore diet? I'm a soup lover. I don't think there's a problem with anything really, Felix, as long as it's not overly processed foods. 90% meats and fats is really that simple. It's just just focus on 90% meats, and then whatever else, just love it up. I don't care if you're eating cheesecake or you're eating traditional crap processed cake. I'd stay away from overly processed cake like Little Debbie snack cakes or, stuff that comes in little packages at the grocery store. But if you wanted to have like a piece of birthday cake, I don't see where that's going to screw up anything at all. You know, I've had an anniversary, we've had birthday parties. I really can't, I don't like the flavor anymore of cake or a lot of the sugary stuff. So if I put something in my mouth, it's just like, it's too much, too sweet. There's some like fruits and stuff that are too sweet. I did experiment with an apple last week. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I wasn't. See, normally if I ate an apple, I'd go almost into like a diabetic type frenzy for some reason, but I was also very metabolically messed up beforehand. I was eating all the wrong foods, a lot of overly processed foods, a lot of oils, lots and lots of seed oils. You need to go out. Hi. You want to go outside? Okay. Let's go take the dog outside. Oh, come on. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Let's get outside. Come on. Go. Go potty. Go potty. Come right back. Go. There you go. Go. Out. I know it's cold out. It's cranky. Cranky mama dog. Oh, I may as well pick up stuff while I'm here. Something else I couldn't do long ago was bend down and pick stuff up. I would ask my kids to do it. That's how pathetic I was. I mean, I was so fat I couldn't bend down and tie my shoes without turning blue and falling on the floor. It was pretty bad. Something crashed in there and I don't know what it was. Hey, come on. There we go. All right, my dog's inside. It has been warming up here, which was nice. It felt like summertime today. What is going on in here? Oh no. Oh, I know what those are. My wife bought sugar cookies. She wanted the tin. I can almost guarantee she bought sugar cookies because she wanted that tin that they come in. She wanted to use them like for her beads or something like that. We got a whole bunch of them. Oh, snacks. I'm really not in a snack type mood. But we are into these. So something I have found that works out really, really well, especially to transition away from the snacking type mentality, is simple, healthy beef sticks. Another thing that I used a lot of when I was doing keto type diet, for instance, I was using dill pickles, specifically dill pickles, because they don't have a lot of the sugar and excess caca in them. I can't eat dill pickles anymore. My palate has changed so much. I tried when I got back from Nome. Did not like the dill pickles. I was like, man, I used to eat these all the time. And dill pickles was another like a keto type cheat because they can kind of get you over sugar cravings as well. But that's where the beef sticks come in. No, they help. And this round of chomps isn't very good. They're kind of pale. It's like they're lacking something. Yeah, they're lacking a little bit of flavor. But it's still pretty good. So when I was getting over my snacking part, I was taking a lot of these to work. And one of these is like eating lunch. Eat one or two of these, you're good until the next meal. I also found out that 3 hard-boiled eggs would suffice at work for lunch. Also very keto friendly. You're losing weight after eating. I don't care how many hard-boiled eggs you bring. If you want to snack on something, snack on hard-boiled eggs. You know, snack on beef sticks. These things are really relatively safe. You can get weight loss from stuff like this, which is great. But once I figured out all these little tricks on how to lose weight and still eat food, I was like, I am not fasting anymore. I'm going to start eating food. And I've been eating lots of food and losing weight. But I think a lot of my weight loss success has to do with the timing of when I eat food. because even when I was fasting, you know, I figured out how to lose weight while I was asleep. That was amazing. Like, oh, you tell somebody that's just walking down the street, they look at you like you're crazy. But yeah, I learned how to lose weight in my sleep and still eat food. I could lose more weight right now quicker if I took my evening meal and turned it into my breakfast. And that would have been, like, my breakfast would be my only meal of the day. Because that way I'd get into ketosis, and I would stay in ketosis longer while I slept up until breakfast time. And you're losing weight in your sleep. Your fat comes out your exhaust pipe right here. You breathe out your fat. I didn't know that either before I started losing weight. You know, I thought we peed it out. I thought we pooped it out. I thought we might sweat it out. No, fat comes out your mouth. This is your gas tank. This big, giant, chubby chunk you got there. That's your gas tank. And then when your body starts burning ketones and starts burning body fat, it comes out your mouth. That's where we lose the majority of our weight. So if you're breathing at night, you're losing weight. As long as you're in ketosis. Weird. Chia seeds with water is good too. That doesn't sound like a good idea. I really, really like the ribeye steak. After I started it, I'm having a slight meat aversion to ground beef, and I put a post out there, community post. There's a lot of people, a lot more people than I have expected that reached out to me and said, yeah, that's a problem for them too. I'm like, wow, so many people having a similar problem, you know, to ground beef. And others saying that they have to sauce it up, maybe put some mustard on it. Some people saying they got to put cheese on it. But yeah, when I was on a carnivore diet on a budget, when I was primarily ground beef, and that's how I got started. Yeah, a lot of sauce. I started weaning off the sauce. I started switching different sauces, you know, from like barbecue sauce to more like hot sauces and stuff like that. Yeah, that's how I got started. A lot of cheese. I was into a lot of cheese. But I was also hitting a lot of weight loss stalls because of all of that stuff that was going on there. So now that I'm just ribeye steak, it seems like I'm having a natural progression and I'm losing inches all over the body. Even when I'm not losing dramatic weight, I'm still losing inches. I feel like I'm toning up every single week. You know, the viewers that have been following me said I look a lot leaner in every video. They're like, wow, you're leaning down. Some of these other YouTube channels that I actually talk to, they're just like, you're a different person now. It's like you're almost unrecognizable from when we met you, which is great. I mean, that's the whole point. But my point is I'm not anybody special. I'm no different than you on the other end of this screen. I'm just a person that figured it out, and I'm hoping other people can hopefully figure it out for themselves too. It's just so simple and easy. Everybody should know this. It doesn't cost any money, you know, to lose weight. I don't have to pay a dietitian. I'm not buying any powders. I don't have to buy any memberships. Nothing. I figured out how to lose weight with nothing. Literally nothing. Just eating food now. Yeah, meat aversion on mince. Yep. Make burger from it. Uh-huh. I didn't even know what mince was until I started the carnivore diet and I started talking to other people from other countries because they were like, you like mincemeat? I'm like, what in the world is mincemeat? And it's just ground beef. Just in another country. Yeah, I'm not big into many seeds. I don't like seeds. Fidel Torres, it's a cool show and topic. Yeah. Well, Fidel, we just try to be real here, you know, because I don't need to sell you anything. to explain how my experiences have been going with weight loss. I mean, it's natural. It's a natural thing to gain weight, to lose weight. But the thing is you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy anything to lose weight. You just have to buy the right food. You're already buying food. I'm actually buying less food now, so I'm saving money when I thought, you know, for how many years has everybody out there, you've heard it all, you know, I can't afford to eat healthy, it costs too much. Really? I said that too. That's this guy right here. I can't afford the carnivore diet, it costs too much. Well, guess what? It's very affordable once you start getting healthier, and then all of a sudden people are throwing money at you because you're useful again. Yeah, that makes it really, really affordable. So now the ribeye steaks are coming into play. You know, I was doing the carnivore diet on an extreme budget of flat broke. I was metabolically broken. I was mentally broken. You know, God broke me down to the lowest of low. He said, just be patient with me. I will build you back up. And that's what happened. You know, now I'm getting these big money jobs just thrown at my face. Like, hey, you want to do this? And I'm like, not really, but okay. And I can't complain because this is basically how this all works. Huh. Kind of remarkable. You know, you lose a lot of weight, you become extremely useful. People want to pay you more money to do stuff because you're willing to do more than you were. Let's see. Felix says, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I do feel better after I've been adding more meat and less rice and potatoes. So Felix, I just throttle back on the rice and potatoes. I don't say eliminate. I mean, I don't believe in the whole eliminate thing. Start cutting back on it and then see how you feel. Because this is, for me, it was like a natural progression of things. And I'm not 100%. I'm not going to tell anybody ever, like, oh, I'm 100%. I have done 100%, you know, stretches. You know, realistically, 30 days has probably been my longest stretch of 100% carnivore. Even that might not have been completely perfect. But my point is the majority of it was at least honestly focused on that. And there might have been a couple little variations here and there. But with that said, you know, before I even started getting this strict, I was already on a 90-10 eating principle. And I was eating a lot more processed foods when I was doing that version of a meat-based diet. So there'd be a lot more random processed foods in there, you know, as far as my 10% goes. But since I was throttled back to approximately 10% and I'd stuffed myself with meats and fats before I even thought about anything off the rails, it kind of worked. It kind of worked. I'm snacking on peanuts right now. It's after dark here in Hawaii. I had a problem when I was eating nuts. So peanuts, cashews, almonds. I'd eat a lot of them. So they tell you to eat a handful. So a handful, like literally, that's what you're supposed to have. But I would eat like entire cans of them or jars, however they came. And yeah, they turned into a problem. Not necessarily that nuts are like horribly unhealthy. It's that for me, a lot of these nuts had a lot of high oxalate levels. Cashews, peanuts, and almonds. And those high oxalate levels gave me a lovely gift. Almost like an STD. Kidney stones. Yeah. So when you get blessed with kidney stones and you're thinking you're eating healthy, and I was eating kale, I was eating spinach, I was eating a lot of raw green vegetables. Totally wrong thing to do, by the way. Raw green vegetables. Super high in oxalates. And then it took me doing the carnivore diet to figure out the problem I had when I was eating a lot of vegetables. A lot of the vegetables I was eating in the raw were super high in oxalates, but they can be dramatically reduced. For those of you that are vegetable eaters, you can reduce the oxalate levels by cooking the vegetables. Same thing goes with nuts. So yeah, you roast your nuts, you reduce the oxalate levels. Some of these nuts are actually poisonous, eaten raw. Cashews, that's a relative of poison ivy. Cashews, go figure. Some people have nut allergies. I don't know why. Poison ivy. Weird. I mean, the things you learn after you start going carnivore, and it's also not just things you learn, it's the information you retain, once the brain fog goes away. I hear it all the time. Oh, the brain fog. Once the brain fog goes away. It's like this mythical boogeyman. But it's real. Because the brain fog goes away, and then all of a sudden it's just like you're having this miracle epiphany, like somebody just turned on a freaking light bulb. You're like, wow, okay. I can think clearly all of a sudden. Thought I was thinking clearly for the last 10 years of my life, but now I can actually think. I'm doing word puzzles. Like, I mean, my wife's like, what did you do? Find all the words at the same time? Because the phone's just going, ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that 8 months ago. I'd be sitting there like, honey, I'd be passing my phone to my wife. Help me. Or my kids. Even my little kids were helping. We do these basic word search puzzles. And now my brain is on fire. I like to do those every single night before I go to bed. It helps me wind down. I like to do them first thing in the morning. It gets me woke up, with my cup of coffee. I'll play these little word searches. And it really helps. It really helps your memory, cognitive function, and just get your wires moving in the right direction. Hey there, Fidel. Says thanks. Processed food, frozen foods happens weekly in those really exhausting days. Yeah. I just cut out the processed foods as much as possible. Now, my reindeer sausage, yes, that's an overly processed food. Even hamburger meat, minced meat, for those of you in another country, that is technically an overly processed food because it's going through a process of grinding it. And you also don't know where all of the meat in that minced meat or hamburger meat comes from. I saw the short video that was out recently. Somebody was talking about it, how potentially you could have over 400 cows in that 10 pounds of meat. I mean, in theory, that's possible. Is it likely? Probably not 400 cows. More than one, yeah, that's more than likely. But, most of the time, if I go to a local butcher, I can get hamburger meat that's from the same cow. But if I'm buying it from Costco, who knows? Who knows how many cows go into 10 pounds of hamburger meat at Costco? I have no idea. But when I buy ribeye, I know that came from the same cow. That's the one nice thing about ribeye. Or buying steak in bulk, for that matter. You know that meat came from that animal. That one particular animal. Let's see. I'm kind of reading backwards through the comments. It's been around a month of having that consistently. First goal was to get rid of pizza and frozen pizzas. Once that was gone, I focused more on meat. So yeah, when I was getting over a lot of my pizza addiction, I was using those cauliflower crust pizzas. Super helpful. I was also making a carnivore style pizza out of chicken, of all things. I made a chicken crust pizza. That hit the spot. That was super filling too. So 2 slices of that was like eating 12 slices of a regular, traditional hand tossed pizza. Because there's just so much protein there. The crust itself is made out of chicken. Chicken and Parmesan cheese was how I was making it. And it just, super filling. It actually felt like a pizza crust. It tasted like a pizza crust. All right there, Carnivore Transformer. It's good to hear from you again. I haven't seen one of your short videos in a while. Are you... hopefully you're still posting. I always like people's videos, even when they're, not even great. But as long as they're on my feed. If I see them and recognize them, yeah, I'm gonna like or maybe leave a comment or something. But yeah, just because it's helpful to support those people no matter what. Doesn't matter. He's trying to do something good for himself. He's been doing great. Doing great. That's awesome. Smoking or first class? I don't know what you mean, William. All right, guys, it's getting closer to my bedtime. Like I said, I'm 50 years old. I like to get my sleep. I've been getting around 8.5 hours to 9 hours of sleep, which is weird because I never used to sleep that much. I was usually sleeping about 6 hours, but I think a lot of that had to do with anxiety, depression, the fact that I just wasn't eating correctly. My body just didn't want to stay in bed. But I've been getting some really, really good sleep in the last week or so since I got really focused back on track, getting on my diet again, just eating meats and fats, ribeye steaks, OMAD. One meal a day just seems to work really well for weight loss. For those of you that want to give it a try, I would recommend an OMAD type diet. Pick a meal. If you want to lose weight faster, pick breakfast. It doesn't have to be breakfast food. It can be a ribeye steak for breakfast, maybe some eggs, some whatever, or it could just be bacon and eggs, a little bit of ham. But that's really not enough for me. I need more. So that's where the steak comes in. You could totally lose weight doing that a lot faster if you ate that meal. The same meal that I eat for dinner, if I ate that for breakfast, I'd lose weight a lot faster. And it's just how it works. Hey, hello there. Living my best life at 60. Awesome. I hope that's true. I hope your tagline is true. Let's see. Remember me? Remember me? We went to different schools. Remember me? We went to different schools together. Well, you were killing me. I love it, though. I love the random humor. At least it's good humor compared to some of the stuff that I get that just flies through here. All right, we're going to take a shower. I'm going to go to bed. We're going to wake up. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. It's payday for a lot of us. So I hope everybody has a happy payday. I hope things improve in the next couple of months because, yeah, we need some sort of improvement. Not just in this country here in the United States, just in general. We need some sort of improvement for everything across the globe. And hopefully something will happen. Positive. Let's just think positive. But yes, you guys have a great night. Caroline, hi. That's my aunt. How are you doing? It's nice to see you. Internet is a rare thing to come by when I was up in Nome. I was doing all of my videos, my live streams, anything that I did, or any uploads that I did, I was doing it off of 5G, off of my phone. It was miserable. It was super slow. It would take me all night to upload a video. But yeah, it's good to see you there, Caroline. Okay. We're going to have a good night. And if you're still there, Caroline, yeah. Aka got in safe. Teresa, but she's out in the valley right now with relatives. She's probably going to spend the weekend there. And hopefully everything will be good there. I told Aka about your socks. Oh, thank you. I sent her a message, but I don't know if her account got hacked again either. So, because that just seems to happen. I got a weird response, so I don't know if it was her responding or not. But anyways, yes, I do love her. I love you too. I know we have differences of opinion, and Gerald, everybody up there, definitely, it's okay. And yeah, we'll do this again, but I definitely need to hit the sack. I got a busy day tomorrow. So, all right, take care, guys. As I fumble through the buttons, God bless. And everybody, please just try something new tomorrow.